Hey, shalom, brothers and sisters. Welcome back. Thank you again for joining me. I hope you had a great day, great week, whatever. Today I want to talk about the man who Yeshua healed his withered hand. And I just want to talk about that. And I'm going to start out with in the book of Mark. If you follow along, if you got a Bible, just dust it off and follow me, or check out the scriptures later. I'm going to go into Mark chapter 3, verses 1 through 6. And it says here, and he entered again into the synagogue, and there was a man there which had a withered hand. And they watched him whether he would heal him on the Sabbath day, that they might accuse him. Talking about the Pharisees and scribes and such. And he saith unto the man which had the withered hand, Stand forth. And he said unto them, Is it lawful to do good on the Sabbath days, or to do evil, to save life, or to kill? But they held their peace. And when he had looked around about on them with anger, being grieved for the hardness of their hearts, he saith unto the man, Stretch forth thine hand. And he stretched it out. And his hand was restored whole as the other. And the Pharisees went forth and straightway took counsel with the Herodians against him, how they might destroy him. So, is it good to do good on the Sabbath, or to do evil on the Sabbath? The Pharisees, of course, they said you can't heal, you can't do anything. They had such a restrictive man-made traditions. You probably couldn't, breathe. You probably could only breathe like, 300 times within an hour. If you went over, you probably broke the Sabbath. That's how they were, they added on to, Yahweh's laws. But anyways, shows here that Yeshua was angry and disappointed at these hypocrites. And the thing is, that's what Yeshua is saying to us, not just to this man or anything. He says, stretch out your hand and I will heal you, spiritually too. I'm not talking about physical, spiritual. If you take his hand and you wholeheartedly, and you have faith, you repent, confess, get baptized, whatever, take his hand. You got to always think about that. Take his hand. And unfortunately, even some people today, they just think, Yeshua's a myth, a fable. He's insignificant, whatever, and that's not the case. It's really not the case. Now I'm going to jump over to Luke. We'll go chapter 4. Let's see, chapter 4, and let's see, what is it? Verses 16 through 19. 16 through 19. And this is when Yeshua begins his ministry, and this is when he takes the scroll, the scroll of Isaiah, and reads it. And he came to Nazareth, where he had been brought up, and as his custom was, he went into the synagogue on the Sabbath day and stood up for to read. So, as his custom was, he went in the synagogue, not on a Sunday, on the Sabbath day, the Saturday, the seventh day. And there was delivered unto him the book of the prophet Isaiah. And when he had opened the book, he found the place where it was written. And this is referring to him. This is a prophecy, and he's reading it. The Spirit of Yahweh is upon me, because he hath anointed me to preach the glad tidings or gospel to the poor. He hath sent me to heal the brokenhearted, to preach deliverance to the captives, and recovering the sight to the blind, to set at liberty them that are bruised, to preach the acceptable year of Yahweh. And after that, he closed the book, of course, and sat down. And people were wondering, there was an amazement of what he just did. But anyways, that's acceptable year of Yahweh. He's basically saying, I'm here now. Prophecies fulfilled. I'm here. And that's when he started healing like the man with the withered hand, you know. And it's very, it's self-telling right here, yeah, sure, he went around healing physically, but it's spiritually. He's trying to heal spiritually. You know, he's the one that brought salvation to all of us, a possibility to escape the death penalty, the second death. So I'm going to go to Luke. I'm going to jump back to, it's going to be still chapter 4, but it's going to be 5 through 8. And this is the temptation. Think about this. Yeshua was out in the desert 40 days, 40 nights, nothing to eat, nothing to drink. And if you're dehydrated and hungry, you get delusional and you become weak and desperate and whatever. But that's when the devil decided to attack him at his weakest points, his physical weakest points, because yet he's in the flesh. He was a man, but he was more than a man. But he had the pulls of a human being. So that's when Satan tried to go down and tempt him, and Satan's not dumb. If he figured out if there was no possibility he could tempt Yeshua and think he could win, he would never have tried it, but he tried it anyways. And there's a small possibility, but he underestimated the son of Yahweh. And here it is. I'm going to start out with verse 5. And the devil, taking him up unto the high mountain, showed unto him all the kingdoms of the world in a moment of time. And the devil said unto him, All this power I will give thee, and the glory of them, for that is delivered unto me, and to whomsoever I will give it. If thou therefore wilt worship me, all shall be thine. And Yeshua answered and said unto him, Get thee behind me, Satan, for it is written, Thou shalt not worship Yahweh thy Elohim. Thou shalt worship Yahweh thy Elohim, and him only shalt thou serve. Now go back to 7, verse 7. If thou therefore wilt worship me. In other words, take my hand. Like I said, the devil's basically telling Yeshua, you take my hand and you bow to me and you worship me, I'll give you all this, and it's, that's a hand you don't want to take. You don't want to take the devil's hand. And Yeshua made the perfect example. But when it comes to Yeshua, you take his hand, and if you got a weathered hand, a weathered spiritual heart or something, he could heal it. All you got to do is have faith and ask and, get guidance and, get baptized, confess, repent, all that stuff. But, when it comes to the devil, though, the devil said, take my hand. And even though Yeshua was, in desperation and everything, hunger, thirst, and so uncomfortable, and maybe on the brink of death, I mean, I'm sure he ain't gonna die, but physically speaking, it looked like he's probably halfway dead or gone. But he still said no, and after Satan left, fortunately, the angels come down and ministered onto him, helped him out, and he regained his physical strength and whatever. But yeah, I just wanted to share this with you and tell you how important it is. I mean, Yeshua, he healed a lot of people while he was on earth, casting out demons, resurrecting a couple people. But you got to see the spiritual side of this stuff too, not just physical, but the spiritual. We need to be healed spiritually. And that's what, he's setting examples of the physical, but it's the spiritual too that really needs healed. And that's why I said, take his hand, stretch forth your hand, take his hand. He loves you, and the Father loves you. And you have brothers and sisters of the faith that really love you too. And that's just something you got to think about and take at heart. But anyways, that's all I want to say. I'm concluding this now, and I thank you again for joining me. Please give me a big thumbs up, hit that notification bell, subscribe, leave a comment, and I invite you to watch my other videos. Until we meet again, peace out and shalom.